Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Wakar double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, pushing this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is in the news on November the 4th, 2022 at 12:13 p.m. in the noon on Friday afternoon. And this is a news article for in the news of November 4th, 2022, and it reads, U.S. announced $400 million in new military aid for Ukraine. Washington from Reuters, the United States on Friday announced an additional $400 million in military aid to Ukraine, including refurbishing a T-72 tanks and Hawk air defense missiles for Kyiv. And it says Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh told reporters that the United States will pay for the 45 T-72 tanks from the Czech Republic to be refurbished and funding refurbish some Air Hawk defenses missiles. So, because, with the current Russia-Ukraine situation that's going on over there in that region, and due to the recent missile launches towards, I believe, a facility over there in Ukraine, and I believe there was some other more NATO countries was going to vote to send more weapons to Ukraine. Now you got Belarus recently. Russia sent hypersonic ballistic missiles to Belarus, which is already a couple of weeks ago. Belarus and Russia came to an agreement of I believe 1,500 troops was deployed over there, Belarus, and then you have U.S. soldiers already deployed over there in Romania, along with NATO allied troops as well too that backs Ukraine. And then a couple of days ago, you got the United States troops on the ground helping training Ukraine soldiers with certain military tactic moves or the use of weapons and drones, etc. Now you got this new announcement right here from the United States announcing another additional $400 million, which they made a previous announcement, I say about a week and a half ago. Now you got this new announcement on Friday from the administration that the United States announced $400 million in new military aid for Ukraine, of refurbishing of T-72 tanks and Hawk air defenses for Kyiv, because the tensions, still continually growing in that region over there, because you had warnings from Great Britain, and then Russia sent a warning back at Great Britain as well too. Say if you get involved in this, it's gonna be severe consequences. So this rumors of wars is definitely heating up between the nations and different kingdoms as well too, and that's what we're seeing with the current Russia-Ukraine situation. Since the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, they look at it as a special operation since November all the way until now. I believe in late February. I meant to say, let me rephrase that. The late February of the invasion of Ukraine, as Russia look at it as a special operation. And since until now, which is the tensions are definitely still increasing, Ukraine is still coming under enemy fire, and Russia is going to come under enemy fire from the Ukrainians as well too. So both of them going at it with each other in that region over there. As you see right here, the announcement of the United States is sending more 400 million in new military aid assistance to Ukraine, along with other allies of NATO, potentially going to send more military aid assistance to Ukraine as well too. In a while back, I believe Vladimir Putin sent a warning message to NATO and the Western allies of the United States that backs Ukraine. They were sending warnings to them. Those warnings are still on a high alert as well too. And I believe I was looking at a news article. I believe it's I forget what country it was, Finland or Norway, something like that. I know it was one EU country was saying they on a high alert from the threats from Russia and Belarus, So these tensions are definitely stirring up with the rumors of wars, I just wanted to add a note to that. But bring out a scripture, then I'm close out the lesson. This is the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 7. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, but be ye not troubled, for such things must need be, but the end shall not be yet. And this is the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 8, of what's currently going on in that region of Kyiv, of Ukraine, and other different parts as well too. And this is the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places. And there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows, right? Because we are in the increasing stages of beginning of sorrows of these nations, constantly, consistently, increasingly by the day. On a daily basis of these, we hear these news articles in the news, alternative news on an everyday basis, for every week, every day, and every month as well too. We're seeing these nations increasingly rising up against one another, even if they might think it is just a special operation mission. That's still the act of a war on another nation, So that's why you're seeing the increase of nations shall rise against nations and kingdom against kingdoms, So these things are going to intensify, and it's going to increase more and more and more, not just only in one spot, in other spots around the globe as well too, with nations having contentions and increasing wars between one another of different nations, and different kingdoms as well too. And proxy wars, commotions of wars, rumors of wars, all these things, etc., are heating up now so more than ever, And so with that, I hope this sit-down lesson was edifying for In the News of November 4th, 2022 on this Friday at noon at 12:21 p.m. And I hope this lesson was edifying for In the News of November 4th, 2022 on this Friday. And I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem HaKarkadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom and a ball.